Welcome back, beautiful souls, to episode 2, part 2 of the podcast. If you listened to part 1, you'll know that our conversation on the benefits of shadow work took us into such rich, meaningful territory that I decided to split this episode in two. In part 1, we explored why shadow work matters, how it can transform your relationship with yourself, open up deeper self-trust, and help you reclaim the parts of your identity that you may have hidden, silenced, or misunderstood. Today in part 2, we're going deeper. We're going to explore what shadow work actually is, what it means, where it comes from, how it lives in the psyche, and why it becomes such a powerful doorway into healing, integration, and inner dignity. So, settle in, take a breath, and let's gently unfold this next layer together. Shadow work is becoming aware of your inner blind spots. Not in a dramatic way, not in a heavy way, but in a gentle, curious, compassionate way. We all have patterns, reactions, beliefs, and emotional habits that live below the surface. They shape our choices, decisions, relationships, triggers, and behavior, even when we don't realize it. Shadow work is the process of slowing down enough to notice, reflect, and understand. Why do I react this way? Where did this pattern come from? Who taught me to respond like this? What am I protecting myself from? And is this still serving me? It's not self-criticism. It's not shame. It's not digging through trauma without support. It's simply self-awareness with more honesty and love. I like to explain the shadow with a simple metaphor. Your mind is a house, and the shadow is like the attic, the place where you store things you didn't know how to deal with at that time. When you were younger, if you felt something wasn't welcomed, maybe your anger, sadness, vulnerability, even your joy, confidence, or even your natural brilliance, someone might have said, "Not now. That's too much. Don't be dramatic. Stop crying. Calm down." Who do you think you are? So you packed that part of yourself away. You put it in the attic to keep the peace, to survive, or to be accepted. Shadow work is not about shaming that. It's about going into the attic with curiosity, switching on the light and saying, "Oh, so this is what I've been carrying." Shadow work is not about getting rid of anything. The goal isn't to eliminate the shadow. The shadow is not the enemy. Everything in the shadow formed because it protected you at some point, even if it no longer serves you today. Shadow work is about integration, not elimination. It's about bringing these parts of you into awareness so you can choose how you want to respond, instead of reacting from old wounds or unconscious programming. Another easy way to think about this: your mind is like a car. The conscious mind is the driver, the intentions, the choices, the direction. The unconscious mind is the engine, the hidden forces powering the whole journey. Shadow work is basically learning how the engine works so you can drive your life with more clarity and confidence. You're not trying to control the engine. You're just finally understanding what's going on under the bonnet. The biggest ways the shadow appears is through projection. Projection is when something in someone else triggers a reaction in you because it mirrors a part of yourself you haven't fully acknowledged. For example, someone's confidence irritates you, but you refer to it as arrogance. Someone's vulnerability makes you uncomfortable, and your mind says, "Oh, they're weak." Someone's anger feels threatening, and you say, "What have I done wrong?" Someone's boundaries feel rude. You think, "Okay, all right then." Someone's neediness hits a nerve. I feel a bit overwhelmed right now. I just need a bit of space. Often, the discomfort isn't about them. It's a cue from your unconscious saying, "This is something inside you that wants attention. Look here." Shadow work teaches you to pause and reflect instead of react and judge. Messages from your unconscious. Triggers are not obstacles. They are information. I spoke about this in the previous episode. In many ways, I made my triggers my best friend, as uncomfortable as they were. Instead of thinking, "Why am I reacting like this? Something is wrong with me," shadow work shifts it to, "What is this reaction trying to show me?" Triggers become teachers, not threats. So, what is shadow work in practical everyday terms? Shadow work is writing down your reactions and looking gently for the root. Noticing when an emotion feels bigger than the moment. Becoming aware of the stories you tell yourself. Catching patterns as they arise. Giving language to things you used to avoid. Questioning old beliefs you inherited. Processing emotions instead of packing them away. It's the daily practice of understanding yourself more openly so you can live with more clarity, freedom, and authenticity. Shadow work is simply awareness plus compassion equals transformation. Doesn't happen overnight. It's not dramatic, but steadily, softly, and powerfully. Thank you for joining me today. If this episode supported you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. I've added my recommended books, my InChrysallis shadow work journals, and other resources in the description below. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Here are a few shadow reflection questions to sit with. Answer whichever one speaks to you. What's one pattern you're noticing in yourself right now? What recent reaction surprised you? What part of yourself are you ready to meet with more compassion? Your reflections might support someone else who is listening too. I'll see you in the next episode where I share my personal shadow work journey and the steps I took to make my unconscious conscious. I think I said it already, but if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know the moment episode 3 is released. You can also explore my additional resources, tools, and further reading in the description below if you'd like to deepen your journey between episodes. Thank you for being here, for listening with an open heart, and for doing this courageous work. See you in episode 3.